All right, we'll just keep it moving right along. Our next comic, we're so lucky to have her. Give it up for Heather Pasternak.
Hi, guys. I just had a baby. Thank you. I have a little 3-month-old at home. His name is Julian. It's insane. It's insane how much I love him and want to abandon him at the same time. So it's nice to be here. The people laughing loud have children. It's a trip, man. Wow, I can't believe it. And it's hard. Like, I don't know, breastfeeding is hard. I didn't know it was going to be so hard, especially like newborns. They fall asleep. They like can't stay awake. And there is nothing more humbling than like whipping your tit out and just having a guy immediately pass out. Sometimes he just like bites my boob, cries, and makes this face. And I'm just like, I'll let the chef know. God, being pregnant was kind of cool. Like, everyone's really nice to you when you're pregnant. Like, people kept like offering me their seat, but like they used to offer me their cocaine, so it's an adjustment. I think I saw a pregnant lady here tonight. If you want to make her feel at home, offer her some drugs. It's an inclusive show. I realized I think growing a baby bump is actually a lot like getting a tongue ring, because like you think it's going to be really cute, but it's actually just uncomfortable and lets everyone know you fuck. Going to the gynecologist during the pandemic was like, I realized it was like the closest thing I had to like going on a date. You know, because I would like shower and I would shave and then I would just like wait for him to call and tell me what's wrong with me. I went for my post-labor appointment. I had a post-labor fantasy. I had this fantasy that I was going to walk into the office and they were going to be like, "Oh my God, are you okay? You're so skinny." But instead they were just like, "Are you having suicidal thoughts?" And I was like, "Because I'm so skinny?" Like, I don't know. And then they're immediately like, "Do you want to start birth control?" Like, "Don't let this happen again," is the subtext. It's always so shameful, like, talking about birth control with my doctor. And I imagine it's not like that for men. Like, I feel like when men go to the doctor's just like, "You fuck a lot?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then they high five with their dicks. I knew it. Damn. Also, I would always hear women talk about, like, pregnant women, like, "Oh, everyone tries to touch my bump. It's so annoying. Everyone's always touching my bump. So annoying." But, like, being pregnant during a pandemic, like, nobody would. I was, like, thirsty for someone to touch my bump. Like, everyone was so respectful. Even my close friends, like, my girlfriends, I'd meet up with them. I'd be like, "Please touch my," like, someone give a shit about my bump. And, like, my bump sat really low, so I had to be really creepy. Like, I'd be like, "Lower, lower." Like, people are so uptight. Like, they act like they've like never fingered a pregnant lady before. Like, grow up. My husband made me feel sexy, which was nice, except that now I'm married to one of those weird guys who likes having sex with pregnant people. I don't know how to reconcile that. It's hard trying to like fit into your clothes after having a baby. It's like a struggle. I had this bikini and it was like promiscuous before I had a baby, and now it's like real promiscuous. But we went to the beach. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna love my body." And I like undressed and I was wearing this bikini and my husband was like, "Babe, your labia is showing." I was like, "Let me be myself." Babes out, labes out. Pretty sure that's the saying. If you need a babes out, labes out crop top, I will sell you one after the show. They are unisex, sir. I'm looking at you. I don't want to brag, but I have a sister who hates me. She's mad I had a baby first. Although, truthfully, we've always had a strained relationship. I think she struggles with mental illness. I mean, I hope she does. Otherwise, she's just a bitch. Right? I think everyone has someone like this in their family. If you don't think you do, you are that person. she's just tough. Like, she does drugs a lot, and I like drugs. I get it. Like, they're fun. But, like, to me, the most annoying thing is when people on drugs think they're enlightened. You know, like, I'll, like, run into her somewhere, and she'll be like, I just knew you were gonna be here. And I'm like, it's Mom's birthday dinner. But I'm also like, I do drugs. I'm cool. I do drugs. I miss them. You can't do them while you breastfeed, apparently. I feel like if anyone saw my, like, Google search history, they would confiscate my child. What do mushrooms do to breast milk? Mushrooms are probably the craziest drug I've ever done. They're just, like, so wild. I feel like the first time I did mushrooms, I was just like, oh, like, am I real? But then, like, the second time you do them, you're like, oh, nothing's real. But then, like, the 48th time you do them, you're like, I'm going to forgive my dad. Got married right before the pandemic. Yeah, I was lucky. You know, they say the first year of marriage is the hardest, so I guess we're doing it right. Like, I can't tell if marriage gets easier or if you just get too tired to fight for what you believe in, but either way, I'm excited. I don't know why this is important to some people, but he asked me right before we got married, he was like, how many people have you been with? I was like, why are you doing this to us? Like, suddenly I just turned into Alexa. I was like, sorry, I don't know that one. And he was trying to be so cool about it. He was like, okay, so what? So is it like 50? Is it like 100? I was like, nobody knows. Not even me. It's not all rainbows and butterflies, though. It's still like, you know, we get into fights. We got into this fight the other night, this drunken fight where I was the only drunk one. We were waiting to be seated, and the host comes up, and it was like this perfect storm because, like, I turned to him, and I was like, it really hurts my feelings. And then the host comes to seat us, and he turns to me, and he goes, chill. Every woman knows when a man says chill, it's time to make a giant scene! And I think my favorite thing about being a woman is all you have to do to make a scene is quietly cry at a restaurant. Right? It's the best. Like, occasionally you just have to say something like, no, you're drunk! It's so cathartic. It's so nice, you know? Like, we need places to cry. Like, we don't have, like, cry rooms at work. We should. I'm that person who's always just, like, crying at the end of yoga. They're like, ma'am, we have another class in here. Like, I'm trying to love my inner child right now. Where am I supposed to do this? I especially feel bad for men. I feel like men, you guys, like, don't get to cry enough. You guys are, like, constipated in the face. Right? Like, where does it go? Like, straight to the biceps? How does it work? I have this fantasy that I'll talk about this on stage, and that, like, one day a guy will get up in the audience and just be like, I cry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not tonight. Not tonight. Okay. I can take a hint. Yeah. I don't know what to blame my strained relationship with my sister on. It's hard. Like, maybe it was our upbringing. We grew up in this really fucked up neighborhood right outside of Compton called Beverly Hills. It's messed up over there. I have 2 older sisters. One of them is a stripper, and the other one is a stripper. I'm a comedian, and I'm the one they're proud of. I actually got the impression that one of my sisters had started escorting, and it was, like, really awkward because she, like, didn't want me to tell my parents, and I would, like, love to blackmail her, but it's weird to, like, extort a hand job from your own sister. I don't think there's anything wrong with that kind of work. I just think any job is sad if you hate it. So I started giving her a pep talk. I was like, whatever you do, be the best. That's how I became her pimp. It's a weird time. It's a weird time. I can't believe I have a kid. I'm just like, it's just scary having a kid. Like, I'm excited. I wanted it. Like, it's exciting, but it's also terrifying, but it's mostly exciting. Like, you know, in life, when you get anything that you really, really want, and you're just like, oh, no! Now I have to see this through. It's just like careful what you wish for. I have that experience all the time. Like I got an agent. I was so excited. I was like, I want to be an actor. And then I got my first audition and I was like reading the breakdown and it was like, he leaves her all fucked out on the bed, short skirts, titties bouncing. It's like 8 a.m. I'm putting on blue eyeshadow. I'm like, this is my dream. We waited to find out the sex of our baby. We're like, let's wait and find out the gender. And people act like they're like, oh, that's so cool. It's such a big deal. But like, I don't think it is because nowadays you have to wait till the kid's 15 and tells you. It's like, what does it matter? But I think I kind of did want a boy, if I'm being honest, because I just feel like it seems easier. Like I feel like if you have a little boy, you get to say fun stuff like, get your soccer cleats on, Julian. Let's do this. But like if you have a little girl, you have to say stuff now like, stand up for yourself, Julia. But not too much or no one will marry you. It's different. I think the hardest thing about being a woman, or like the most annoying thing, I guess, is that like even if you get really successful, there will always be someone who says she just slept her way to the top. And I just think that's so ridiculous because in my experience, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. Like the only time a man has ever done anything for me is when he is trying to sleep with me but hasn't yet. Right? Anytime I've ever actually slept with a guy afterward, I'm always just like, hey, where'd that guy go? Like, I don't think it should be called sleeping your way to the top. I think it should be called, oh no, I couldn't, your way to the top. I think even just like anatomically being a woman is confusing, right? Like I feel like every woman had that moment where you're like finally at that age or 12 or whatever, you can take a hand mirror down there and you're just like, this can't be right. What even is that? It's different every time I look at it. My husband heard me say that and he was like, that's not true. And I was like, yes, it is. I don't even think you could pick my vagina out of a lineup. And he was like, I could, and I'll prove it. Take a picture, get all your friends to take pictures. You guys have been so much fun. Thank you.